We really want to develop a color theme that's going to go with the products that we sell. Okay, so we don't work for Walmart and we don't work for Avon, and so we want to really think about what we sell and the look to create of what we have. Okay, so we got to really think about that. So I went to Hobby Lobby. Oh, thank you. I went to Hobby Lobby and I took with me the lookbook, and the lookbook was open on top of my cart. And that's how I went through the store to pick up the things that I wanted to get. Now, I did not bring those things with me tonight because they're going to create the display at my house. I wanted to, but it's like, can I move my whole house to come here? No. So I did not bring all those things with me. But I bought pink and green, and gold. Very soft pink, very soft green, and Hobby Lobby had it. Okay? So keep that in mind. So we want that look. You want to go once, and you want to get what you need, and you want to get it home, and you want to put it where? On one table.
One table.
One table. If you could have one spot at your house and have one table, and if you can, something this size would be awesome, and you put all your packaging stuff here, and then every time you need to make a gift set, you go here, then you can be very efficient. If you have to dig it out of the closet and then put your bin on top and then, create it, how eager are you going to be to create your packaging? Not very. And it's going to be a pain in the neck. So those are the things that, are going to help you be a little more successful on your holiday season. All right. So some of the things that I think are very helpful for you is to have clear shred. Did I throw something? That was me. Okay. All right. So clear shred that looks like this, and clear cellophane that looks like this. Now I particularly like this length of cellophane. Sometimes people buy very long cellophane, and it's too hard to work with. Now I do have different lengths for different purposes, but pretty much I always work with this, which I think is 2 feet. I do not work with tissue paper very much for Christmas because tissue paper crinkles up and then it doesn't work very well. And I'll be telling you a couple other tips as we go through. So I'll go ahead and get started. And one of the first sets that I'm going to make for you tonight is with this cute little box. These are some new boxes that we got this year. And I also like to work with a variety of containers. Okay, so I'll show you different containers. And I do find that the other thing that people have trouble with is the size of their containers are usually too big. And so you need to find a container that fits the product you're going to use. So in this container, to help the product fit, I also took the cellophane. So I use cellophane for a lot of things. So I took the cellophane and I took about this much. I cut it and then I cut it in half. And I took it like this and I winded it up and I put it in the bottom. So I did that on 3 of these. And then I'm going to put this in here. So you know what these are, right? Botanicals. So I have a botanical set. And before I did that, let me see what I did with the ribbon. So I took ribbon to match the color of the botanicals, and I went around the box with it. And I wanted something that was bright enough. I also started the ribbon on the side, so I wasn't starting in front, and then the seam matched it on the side so it wouldn't be in the front of the box. So I'm going to put the tallest pieces in the back, and I'm going to leave them in the box. And I'm doing the 3-piece.
Did you just tape the ribbon on?
I taped it and I used glue dots. Yes, and feel free to ask questions. So I'm going to put them in like this, because if I didn't put the cellophane in the bottom, here's what it would look like. Not so cute, right? So a little bit of cellophane in the bottom, like that, makes a difference, right? Okay. Now we could have put tissue paper in there and fluffed it up, and then after I took it one place, what would happen to the tissue paper? Smushed. Not so cute. Okay. So then I'm going to take a little bit of this, so right color, notice the color, and I'm going to add this in. I'm taking very little, okay, very little. And I'm just going to tuck it in. But the color is important. And when you use paper shred, which I don't use a lot of, you want to make sure that it is paper and it's crinkly. You don't want the kind that's real soft. So the quality of your products that you're using are very important. So yes, you can buy things at the dollar store, but some things at the dollar store aren't worth buying. So you gotta, but some are. So you gotta just kind of distinguish. So you see what I'm doing with it, and then I'm tucking it in, okay? So let's see if it looks good from the front now. And actually, dollar store shred is pretty good. But you gotta get the right color. So I'm putting just enough in, and you want it to be kind of loose, okay? You don't want to jam it in. You do want to get it in there, but you don't. All right, so it doesn't look too bad now, right? Okay, but we want to make it cuter. And we want to put something here. So I could have put a fourth piece here, because we have a fourth piece to the set. But we want to put something cute there. So I like to work with the holiday picks a lot. And this is the right color, right? This is going to work. It's too long. That's the other thing. People are usually afraid to cut things. So I'm going to cut it so that it fits in there just right. And I'm going to put them in, okay? Then I'm going to make a bow to go with it. And I haven't quite decided if I want to put the bow on the top or on the pick yet. I think I'll put it on the top. So here's what I'm going to do. I have sparkly, I think it's sparkly, maybe not sparkly. Tulle. So I like to combine several kinds of ribbon together, so you're not just using a ribbon. So I'm going to take a little bit of tulle. I'm going to take a little bit of matching ribbon to the box. And I don't usually like to use a flat satin because it doesn't puff up as well. So if you ever have trouble with your bows and they don't stand up well, that would be why. So though this is pretty for bridal work, not so pretty for Christmas work. But we're going to use it today because it went with the colors. So not as cute. But we're going to give it a little oomph with this iridescent curling ribbon. I can get it going. So this is iridescent, so that's on purpose, so that we can give it a little shine going on. We're going to make bigger loops with this so it'll stand out more. We're just making one or two loops of everything to give us a little something. And I believe in using wire for the bows so that they stay together well. The other thing I would recommend is making about 20 gift sets for your season, and then you show them and you take them places, or you put them on display at your house, or you take them to gift shows or whatever you're doing. And then you take orders from those. You make up like 15 to 20. And then you can take orders from those. So you don't need 100. You don't need to necessarily mass produce. Okay, so here, let me show you what I did with this. So I put it together. It doesn't look particularly cute, right? Just kind of smashed together. But by using wire, I have control of this. And then I can put it on my container how I want it. It'll be very secure, so it'll stay there because I'm going to be traveling with these, taking them to people's houses. So I'm getting it on here tight, hopefully. All right, so it looks kind of messy right now, right? But then, because it's wired, I have the ability to move it around. And then I can make it really cute. And because I pick colors that match what I'm doing, what's already in here, it should look really good. And we can curl the ends a little bit if we want to, but we really don't have to. Okay, so now what do we think? Good?
Yep.
Will we sell that?
Yep.
We should figure out the price, right? And then easy to transport. So now I would take these around to wherever I'm going, and I don't completely wrap them. Like I don't cellophane them, and I don't shrink wrap them until I've sold them. Once I've sold them, generally speaking, I would put them into a gift bag. Sometimes I would cellophane wrap them at that point, but I display them this way. That way, if somebody says, well, I really want a scrub put in here instead of this piece, then I can just go like this, then I can put the scrub in. So I leave everything very accessible so that I can work with that. Okay, so let's try a different one. I also like, for gift sets, I also like to use bigger products. So like this is going to be the Satin Hands and Bodies set. That was Botanicals because it's bigger. You want to show, that doesn't mean you're going to just sell these, but you're going to show bigger items because people want to see big for their money. All right, if I show all small items, it doesn't give us the best bang for our money on our display. Does that make sense? Okay. So in here, this is a cute container, and then to make it work better, then I put something in the bottom. So when you have those boxes from products, so the matching piece to this was the body cream, right, or whatever the piece was. But that box makes a really good piece to work with, to fill, okay? And then I put some cellophane in here. I'm also going to take a piece of cellophane, like I would take a piece of tissue. So normally you might put a piece of tissue paper in there next, but if I put a piece of tissue paper in there now, and I take it around with me for the next 3 months, what will that piece of tissue paper look like? Maybe I should say this one. What would that piece of tissue paper look like in another month? Mushed, right? And that would make my gift set look very nice. So okay, I cut a piece of cellophane, like a half a piece of tissue. I'm going to put it in here. So watch what I'm doing. I put it in, just like I would put a piece of tissue paper. I'm then going to put my products in. Now I will label my products. Okay, put my name, my label on the back, and then place them in the box, in the container. So I have one of each. Pretty easy, right? Put them in the container, tuck the tissue, the cellophane in. See where it's going? Take some shred. Now watch how we work with the shred. We pull it out of the container like this, like this. You want to have really good quality shred. Really good quality shred so that you can do this. You got my shred, right? That's the shred you want. You do not want to buy cruddy shred, okay? So you take this and you're going to tuck it in between. And you're going to work with it. This bag can do lots of, like this bag can take you far. I can probably do a whole Christmas on 3 bags. I do a lot of gift sets. Okay. So I have to see what it looks like from this side. Okay, so I might like these to stand up a little bit more. So I'm going to take that box to the bottom and tip it a little. I can. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that looks a little better. I like them tipped up a little bit better. So I'm going to add a little bit more in the back here. Okay, then I want to add a little Christmas decoration to that. Hi there. I I don't use a picture. Thank you. And then I'm going to use the pick. So I want to pick up with the green on this. Oh, I know, I forgot. Can I have a sponge for this one? And again, I'm going to use 3 different kinds of ribbon with this. Like that's where the sponge goes, is in the back. I didn't do that. Redo. Okay, so I did not need to pick up the box. Okay, we're going to regroup that. Hang on. Put the box back down. Put the stuff back in. Put the sponge in. And this is the sponge. And I want the sponge. Okay, there we go. I want this back in. Okay, that was worth the trouble. Okay, so here's where we are now. Okay. So we're going to add the green pick on the front, but I'm going to add the bow to the pick so that it doesn't move. And I'm going to use a different kind of tool. So this is a little thicker, or a little, well, I wouldn't call it thicker, it's just a different dimension. So I'm going to start with that. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to start with satin ribbon. So Mary Ellen, do you sell this too? Do you have this kind of ribbon over there?
This year I don't have ribbon.
Okay. This is a really good kind of ribbon, because it stands up well and makes for a good base, rather than this kind of ribbon. And this ribbon is really a good cost because you're getting like 100 yards. And you can buy, you don't need a zillion colors. You'll see I'll use like white, pink, maybe 2 shades of pink. I don't really use too many colors. So you don't need to buy a zillion colors.
So where did you get the ribbon?
The same place, Vans or Kennicotts. So you make a bow like this, and every bow I make is made the same way. It has 3 loops on each side. Whoops. Same bow. It's made the same way. It's just larger or smaller. Then I'm going to add the tool. And the tool I pretty much have gotten from Hobby Lobby because they have quite a good variety. And then some tie knot. And then I'm always going to add the curling ribbon on top. So that'll be the last thing to add. And then again, by using the wire, you have the most control on that ribbon and how it's going to work for you, rather than trying to tie it. So I'm tying it like this, and the trick on the wire is to have no room in here. So you take the wire, doesn't matter what that bow looks like, and then we're going to attach it to the pip. And the green works very nicely with the satin bodies products. So you want to attach it to the pick on the back here. And then you can arrange how you want it to look from the front. And then this one we're definitely going to want to curl a little bit. And then you can also trim anything. And then this piece you're going to tuck into your container so that it stays where you want it to stay. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Then at the end of the holiday season, let's say you don't sell this or you want to make it for a birthday, you can just take this piece out and put in a pink bow with a pink rose on it, or a a white bow with a yellow sunflower would be really cute for this time of year. Okay? So as long as you're neutral, and that's the nice thing about this, if you keep these neutral, and you're not getting too, gaudy, shall we say, then you can work with them. And they look very elegant. They look like a Mary Kay product. They don't look like they came from Walgreens. They don't look like they came from, Brand X, shall we say. Then it looks very nice, doesn't it? Okay, and so, again, what do you charge for this? So let's add this up, okay? So you've got 3 products at $18, right? Somebody asked. 3 times 18, we got 54?
Yep.
Okay, so 54, $1 for the sponge, 54, 55. And I always try to keep my containers about $5. So I would charge $60 for this. I try to round off on all containers at 5 so that I can just do just like that. So I add up the items, and I don't never discount this kind of thing because you put your work into it. Okay? So same thing. Okay, so now let's add this one up, because that container didn't cost me $5, did it? But I'm still going to charge $5 for it. Because I added the pick, I added the bow, I added the shred, and just in general, it's $5. So how much are the botanicals? Aren't they 18 each too? Are they 18 each?
Yes.
So 54, so $5, 59. Yeah. Now, okay, here's something else. So you see how there's some of this hanging out? Okay, so that would be kind of not perfect. So we're going to give it a haircut. Okay, so watch. If there's stuff just out of the way, you just give it a haircut, and then it looks nice. It's not supposed to be there, you just get rid of it. Give it a haircut. Okay? Alright. Alright, let's do something little, just to give you something a little different. We are going to do a red one. Doesn't happen too often, but once in a while we got to give a little red. No Santa Clauses, no fuzz, but we're going to do a little red. Just because this container is really cute, sometimes you need something little. Alright, so we're going to take the small container. We're still, we're not going to do it. Okay, we're going to add just a little shred, little shred, not much, in the bottom. So it's going to be cute. I can pick up some of my other shred. Clean up the table. Put it in there. Yeah, we don't want it all over. All right, I'm going to do Santa lips in here. Now you notice we're stuck together. Not going to roll around in that container. I'm pretty sure it's a glue dot on there. All right, so glue dots work pretty well. I'm going to set that in there. I'm going to make sure my shred's in here. I need a little more shred. That's not enough. A little more shred. I'm going to make sure it's a mask and a lip balm, so we got one of each. I'm going to get them in there. I'm going to pull the shred up to the sides. I'm going to put it in. Okay, so here's what we look like now. We got them in there, okay? Now I want them to stay in there. They're just in here. Okay. I'm going to take some gold ribbon. Actually, I'm going to take white ribbon. I'm going to get rid of this first. We're going to take the white ribbon underneath the container. We're going to go over the top and tie it in. We're just going to tie that over to the side. So we don't want to totally block in the sandals. Okay. Then we're going to add this cute little red poinsettia. Now if you can buy these in different colors, they're really handy because it's a nice size and it shows up well. And I'm going to tie that in next. So I tied the white ribbon on. I tied on the poinsettia. And then I'm going to make a bow. And I'm going to do white and gold. And I'm making the same bow I made for everything else. This time I'm only going to do 2 loops on each side. I'm going to put the white down first and then the gold on top because I want the gold to show up more. And I'm going to tie it with what? Wire. And now I'm going to have to cut that wire kind of in half because it's going to be too long. And then I'm just going to tuck it behind the poinsettia.
What kind of wire are you using?
Forest wire number 20 Hopewell. So you can move it around nicely. And it does what you want it to do instead of it being flat. Alright. So we're going to give this a little bit of a haircut again. Okay. So it's cute, not terribly red, just cute. It'll blend in with the pinks over here. Enough to get away with it. Okay. Let's do something pink first. Okay, so this one we're going to do the cellophane instead of tissue paper again. Again, we're using bigger product items. Because why do we use bigger product items? Because if I put 2 mascaras in here for the same price, it wouldn't look very big, would it? Okay, so just to show you what I'm doing, I'm taking this by the center. Now look how I take it. Like this. And I stick it in here. No big fancy stuff, I just stick it in the bottom. Now I may need to fluff something up in the bottom, so I'm going to take another piece, about the same size. If I can see it. This piece, I'm going to do this. Put it in the bottom. I would normally unwrap these, put my labels on the bottom or on it. I'm going to put the sponge in. These are the sponges from Mary Kay. They're $1 on section 2. I do think they're the best ones to work with. I also like the white, again, over using a color. I rarely use a color. I have one green one coming up, but that's the only one I've worked with a color. I just think they look nicer, and it's hard to find the right colors. And think about this. It takes you a lot of time to go find those. Okay, so we position the product in first. We got the sponge in. We have it up taller. All right, so what would we add next?
The fun stuff.
Shred. We're going to give you guys a quiz here.
Making sure we're.
This is repeating stuff, you know? Okay, we're going to take the shred. We're going to separate the shred. You're supposed to know how to do this when you go home. Okay, we're going to take the shred. Now we're going to tuck some in the back. A little bit. And I'll tell you, it's so important the color combination of things. Like I looked all over my house today for a light pink pick to put in here. And I had nothing that was going to work. Nothing. It was driving me crazy. So we had to go to something else. All right, so I got the shred. I got the product, the rolling. No pink pick. I was frustrated. So I had to come up with something else. See if you like what I got. Now I have the shimmering tool. You're gonna know how to make these bows by the time you go home, right?
Yes. I like the way she makes it.
Okay, so watch. I mean, they're so simple. You just make the same moves. It's the same thing. You'll make these in your sleep. So generally on the tool for this size of a container, I'm going to make just 2 loops on each side. I pretty much use the number 3 ribbon, so that's what this is. And that's another thing, is not to get your ribbon too wide. Sometimes people get ribbon that's too wide. You could buy all kinds of prints, but as you can see, by using just a couple solid colors, you can get pretty far with it. You don't have to buy a zillion different things that, you know, and when you're buying these like at Hobby Lobby and Michael's and you're paying a lot of money for those things, you can buy a whole roll for, you know, $5 and get 100 yards and you can, you know, go pretty far. And something else with this. We'll go gold. Ooh, this is going to be really pretty. All right. So if you plan what you're going to do, you can get pretty far without spending a fortune. Okay, so we got 3 things in here. We couldn't find a pick, so we had to go to something else. But we want this to be really pretty, right? So we're going to use a pink rose. We're going to do the same thing because it comes on a stem. And we're going to wire it up to the very top. Up to the very top of these is very important. We're going to spread out the ribbon around it. And then we're going to place it in the container. We're going to cut it off a little bit, not too much. Now we're going to decide exactly where we want to put this. And then everybody you know is going to want to buy this. And then somebody's going to figure out how much I'm going to charge for this. Yes. Okay, what do you think? Was the roast good? Okay, how much are you charging? 38. So product was what? 16 is 32, 33, 34, and 5.
Oh, I did $5 for it.
Yeah, okay, 39. 39. Now, what if somebody said, well, I'd like to spend a little bit more than that. What could you put in here besides the sponge? Because you could put something right here instead of that sponge.
Well, let's see.
You could put the toning lotion. You could put the facial cloths. Something taller here would work well, right? And then I could just watch this. I could take that out, and I could put one of those in. And that's what you want to be able to do, is to make recommendations of other things that you could put in there for somebody. This same container, now think about this. What if you had some products that were just discontinued and you wanted to sell them? Do you have, anybody have products on your shelf that you would like to sell that are discontinued? In body care. In body care.
Oh, in body care.
This is when you sell them. You put them in something like this that's really cute and you sell them. If you leave them on your shelf and you don't make them cute, how fast are you going to sell them? Not very fast, right? You make them cute, and they're going to walk out the door really fast. All right. How much time do we have? Okay, we got a little more time. All right. Then at the end, you can decide which one you like best, right? All right. Let's do something new. Oh, this is kind of fun. Let's do this one. This is something different. Let's do this, the new brush. How many people like the new brush?
Oh, yeah.
How many people are using the new brush every day?
Yeah, I love the new brush.
The rest of you, your face should fall off, right? You can't sell it if you don't use it. Okay, we're gonna go to a little wider ribbon. Let's try this. Now, who would think we'd use black ribbon?
Oh, nice.
It's really pretty.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll give you a little different look here. It's fun to just decorate the box too, okay? All right, so we're going to take the new brush. We're going to tie it on here, give you a little different ideas. Now make sure this is on tight, okay? So we're gonna put the brush on top. This is for the person who really doesn't want to make containers. Okay, gotta get this on top tight, but don't turn the brush on. Okay, we're gonna tie it on first. Okay, cute, huh? All right, now we are not going to use a wire, but we are going to make a bow. We're going to use the same kind of ribbon. But we're not going to make this too big. So we're going to make a little bow. Take a little tool. This tool is very pretty with the Time-Wise repair set.
Oh,
So if you want to just decorate the boxes there, that's really pretty. Okay, so we're making a little bit. Oh boy. We're gonna add the button. Now, this curly ribbon, you want to make sure when you get curly ribbon, can you see that this is firm? You don't want curly ribbon that's wimpy. Have you ever had curly ribbon that's wimpy and it's just kind of, you don't want that. I've gotten that by mistake occasionally. You do not want that ribbon. Give that to somebody else. Not somebody you like. You know, like your kids or somebody like that. Because this kind is really good. The other kind, not so good. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to tie it on top. This is harder. Wire is much better. So I'm going to tie it on top.
Why don't you use the wire?
Well, you won't be able to get it on top, on here as well. Because we're just going to make this cute. Wire is always preferred, but sometimes you just can't. This would be a just can't. So you gotta just make your bow look cute. Then, so this is a fun way just to decorate this. This is cute to make on your display table. So you can just put this on your display table. Good? Have fun? Okay, I'll show you another one like that. That's kind of fun.
Would you only charge like $1 to that, or would you
Well, you probably have more than $1 or $2 worth of ribbon on there, truthfully. But you could.
still do 5?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. And, you know, $1 or $2 or nothing. I mean, you know, it's just a service. Okay, here's another fun one. I wanted to use this box and do something fun with it. Because these are so cute, right? Not easy to work with, but super cute. All right, so let me get this together. Okay, so we got these in the new boxes, right? New product, right? So here's one way to work with this. This is like magic. Be cute. Cute, right? Where do I want this? I guess this one. Cute. Because you would try to open that box and stick it in there, wouldn't you? Not good.
Would you glue those down or just tie it like a pattern?
I probably would just tie it, and I'll tell you on hindsight, I would use this size ribbon instead. Then it won't slide as much. This size is gonna be a little slider.
Would you use a glue dot?
She just asked that, and
Oh,
I
I'm sorry.
said, probably not. I'm sorry, I didn't really show this. I instead would use this size ribbon on hindsight.
Okay.
I would go to a fatter ribbon, it would be a better option than what I'm doing. But I didn't think of that today. So that's plan B. Because this isn't gonna hold it as well, but it'll be cute for the moment.
You wouldn't need to fill the boxes. I was just gonna ask you, fill the boxes to keep that from happening.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I had thought about just leaving it in there. Maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just leave it in there. Let's try that. Let's just leave it in there and do it this way. Then we won't have any oopsies. Then it's more secure all the way around. Okay. Then I don't have to worry about any of those problems. For tonight anyway. This would be kind of a cute Halloween little gift, wouldn't it? Oops. I'm going to do the white tulle on this one. Too much stuff here. I'm going to pick up with a little bit of this color. Now what would also be cute on the top of here is one of these teal colored ornaments. But I did not do that either. But that would be cute. I don't think I have. Right in the center on top would be super. But it's cute. Yeah, a little thing in the top center would be cute, wouldn't it? Okay. All right, let's do, I want the, we didn't really do a basket yet, did we? Let's do this one. This is the new natural line. So we need to do a basket. And we're going to take the cellophane and put it in just like. Now, why do we put the cellophane in?
Bring it up.
Right.
Right. So we're using this instead of a piece of tissue paper. And then we're going to put a little bit in the bottom. You know, people in the back row, if you can't see, you could just bring your chairs up to the side. I don't know if you can see anything from the back. Okay, so we're taking this piece. We're going to put this in the bottom. But we want those products to sit up. Okay, so it looks like this. So we're taking them out of the container. We're using the boxes in here. We would label our product before we put it in. So you're going to line the pieces up first, putting the biggest pieces in. Packaging on these pieces are pretty, so it'll make for a pretty basket. So I'm putting them in first, and I'll show you this in a second so you can see it. And then I'm going to stuff the cellophane in around it a little bit. Okay, so this is what it looks like just so far. Okay, so we just have the cellophane and the natural products. All four of them are in here. And then what's our next step?
Shred.
Oh, good job, you guys. Good job. Now we're just going to pull it apart. Okay, we just want a little bit. And I'm going to stick it just in between, behind these products. Very carefully. Little bits. We don't want to stuff it in the front so you can't see what we're selling, right? Okay, so that's looking cuter. Then I've selected a pick that's going to match the color. And one important thing is you're going to take off the price tag. I forgot to mention that earlier. It's really tacky when you give somebody something the price tag's on. If I can get it out. Maybe I'm gonna get this price tag out. Now it's going to stick to me. Okay, so we're going to make a bow. And look, we're going to use that same colored ribbon we had. This time we're going to use just two colors. We're going to use the number 3 satin. And then we're going to use the teal curling ribbon. Because we've got quite a bit going on in this basket. Now you notice the product filled the basket. Did you notice that? There wasn't a lot of basket hanging over. That's really important. Because again, sometimes I think one of the biggest mistakes is people pick a basket that's so big, then you put the product in it, and then you can't find the product. You ever do that? And then you're like, what am I, it doesn't look right. Well, it doesn't look right because the basket's too big. 99% of the time. And we don't really need a lot of ribbon on this because the pick's pretty good size. And again, it's important to watch your colors because, for instance, this teal color wouldn't really look good with that. Okay, so we're using our wire. We're going to put this underneath the pick. And we're going to wire it to the pick. When you wire the bow to the pick, you ever chased a bow down the street when you went to somebody's house? Wire it to the pick, it stays in the basket. And then you want to cut this off because it's too long. It won't fit in your basket. And then you curl this before you put it in. A little better than that. Okay. Now we're going to give it a little haircut. And I think we got it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make that natural product look better? Not so natural, right? Good? Okay. So how much are we gonna sell this for?
Oh,
Ooh, I don't know this price off the top of my head.
oh. 100 and,
Do you know, okay?
100 and something.
135, so 5 more.
Yeah.
135, 140. Okay. That said, I don't know yet. Okay, what time is it? Oh, you guys are done. You're done. Anybody got questions? Questions? From Cindy.
Well, when you go shopping, like, do you buy up like the tins that are at the store or the baskets at the store in anticipation that somebody's gonna want like 20 of them?
No. I have like, I'll buy 3 or 4 of a basket size at a time, 2 of the tins, things like that. If I would need an order for 20 of something, then yes, I gotta go back.
Yeah, and what do you do if you can't find them? You just get
I would tell the customer that, I would have to see what I could find. I could get something close to, when I get a big order, then it's gonna be, this will be close. But I'm buying most of my things, not everything, but most of my things at, like a basket kind of thing at the flower wholesaler. And so, like at Vans or Kennicott's. So I know that I'm going to get quantity there. That's where my baskets come from. These other, like the tins, are coming from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I would know I probably can't duplicate that for 20. So I would know what I'm getting into at that point. Yeah. Yes.
How would you transport the open basket?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I meant to cover that. This box is how I transport everything. And in here I would be able to fit probably 15 completed sets. You want exactly something like this, I can lift this filled. They fit in here exactly tight so they don't move. Then they're not doing this and they're not getting beat up. When I go home tonight, they'll fit back in here, precisely fit, and then I will be able to take them to somebody's house and do a gift show or do a one-on-one with somebody. Then I also have a large basket about this big with a handle, like if I'm just doing a one-on-one with somebody, and then I will just take that with a few less sets so I don't look like I'm moving in. When you don't want to look like you're moving in. But for a gift show at somebody's house, or an open house at somebody's house, this is a nice amount. So this is what I use. This is
a floor box.
It's a mug box or an orchid box from a wholesaler. Yeah. Yes.
Do you charge a down payment for customers?
They pay in full and then I deliver. Pay in full and then I deliver. Is that what you're asking? Yeah. If they were going to buy 20 of something, I would then get half payment and then full payment on the delivery. And I have some people that do that. Regular customers that buy so much. Okay, and then I'm going to start again in about 5-10 minutes, and I'll do that set of things. Yes.
Isn't she great?
Yes.
So everything is about the product that we have. And we want people to be able to see it. So I'm going to recommend that you would make, that you would make 15 to 20 of these gift sets, and that this would be your whole holiday display. If you made 15 to 20 of these, that would be enough for an open house. That would be enough for a gift show. That would be enough to take to somebody's house to do an open house at their house or a gift show at their house. And then you would show these and show these and show these and take orders from that. And again, away you go. You have everything all set up. So that's what we're going to show you tonight, is how to make these sets. And then one of the questions is, well, how do you carry them around? They all fit in one of these boxes. And this is a flower box. You could get it in a flower shop, and because they just throw them away. And they're a mum box or an orchid box. And at this time of year for fall, they bring in a lot of mums, and so they would probably be happy to give you, it's only half a mum box, so you can get 2 of these. And then you just cover it with Christmas paper. And like when I go home tonight, all these will fit in there. they won't get smashed, and then I carry them around all season. And they're just really easy to work with. So to give you some ideas to do that. The other thing I find that consultants get really frustrated with is the size of their container. You tend to buy containers that are too big, and then you're trying to fill them, and then they don't look right. So kind of note the size of my containers. Always go a little smaller than you think, and then you'll fill them easier and they look better. Okay, and then I'll be giving you more tips as I do put some of the packaging together. I always use clear cellophane. I don't use tissue paper. I don't use any other kind of cellophane, only clear. I pretty much use only clear shred. Again, it gives it a uniform look. You don't have all these different colors. It's very crisp. It's very elegant looking. And everything coordinates. So the color I pick up with like the ribbons or the pick, and it's just very easy to work with. And then you're not buying all these different things, and you only have to coordinate, the one pick color to your thing. So you'll see that again as we go along. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you have questions, just feel free to ask as we're working with things. Okay, so we have this cute little container, and we put the ribbon on. And so the ribbon is put on the side so that you don't see the seam on the front. It's put on with tape and a glue dot. If you're sitting in the back row, you're welcome to bring the chairs up to the side because eventually you're going to want to be able to see better. So feel free to move. All right, in here, we want to be able to see the products. So I took a piece of cellophane. Okay, I took a piece of cellophane and I did this. And then I'm putting it in the bottom, okay? So I have that in 3 of these because I'm going to take a set of satin hands. I'm going to put my label on the back, which I didn't do yet. But you want to put your label on the back of every gift set that you start with. And you want to put the cellophane in here so the product sits up. Okay, so I want that product to sit up. You see how it's sitting up? If I don't, here's what happens. You can't see it. All right, so you want it to sit up. I think that'll work enough, okay. So whoops, it looks like this, okay, it's sitting up. And then, so I could have used the clear shred here, but the color of the white tea and citrus is kind of bland, and the container is bland, okay? So we're going to want to give this a little color. So we're going to do that on this one. So we're going to add some pink shred to this. When you use a paper shred, you want it to be firm. You don't want it to be that kind that pulls way out. You want it to be a firm shred, and we're going to place it in and around the product. And if you watch how I'm doing this, I'm just doing that. Okay, kind of watch. So we got to get it in there, but we don't want it to be too firm. Maybe that's more. And you place it behind the product so the product will sit up a little better. Okay. So it looks like this. All right, then you take the cellophane. Okay, so I want to stuff it into this one, so I'm going to take it. But I want it to stand up a little. Because I want to put these balls in there. So I want those to stand up. I want a little pink color going on. little more shred going on. And then I want to make a little bow to go with that. And when I make a bow, I usually use 3 products in the bow. So I'm going to start with some tulle, and this is an iridescent one. And when I make a bow, I tie it with a wire. And the wire is a 24 gauge wire.
Could you ask, see, is Nicole Leon?
Nicole who?
Leon.
Leon? Nicole Leon?
Okay, thank you.
Anywhere? Okay. And generally with the tulle, I'll make 2 loops, one on each side. Can you see what I'm doing, okay? So there's 2 loops, one on each side. And then I have a satin ribbon, but this is a floral satin ribbon, so it's not that real wimpy kind of ribbon. It's firm. And I'm going to add that to this. So you don't want to just use satin ribbon you buy at the store. You want something that's got a little more body to it. And I'm going to make 3 loops on each side. So you'll notice that the ribbons that I make are all about the same. Like once you notice that, they're all the same. So there's 3 loops on each side. And then this one I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to add this little fun ribbon to it. Okay? And I'm just going to add a little dab in the center, a loop on each side. Just to do something fun. Then I take the wire, and this is what ties it together, okay? Once you learn to use a wire, it makes it real easy. So you don't have to be, like the bow doesn't have to be perfect then. So you see how I'm handling this, like I'm squishing the ribbon, and then the wire is going to do all the work. So you get it really tight here. But then you can control the ribbon, okay, and you can move it anywhere you want it on the front, and you can make a really pretty bow with that. But then I'm going to attach it with the wire so I can control how it stays. So a wire allows you a lot of flexibility on what you're doing. If I tried to tie it on there, I wouldn't have that ability. Okay, so there's our sanding hands. Just need a little bit of a shred back there. Okay. Oh man, this thing is sticking. Okay. All right, let's do. Let me get back. Let's do the. Let's do the foot leg energizer. So this is a basket. So this is kind of a beauty basket. So we're going to make it cute. Again, we're going to put the cellophane in. Why do we put the cellophane in first? Anybody? Because you would normally put a piece of tissue paper in there, wouldn't you? Okay? So we're going to put cellophane instead. This thing about this, it gives it body. Okay? It helps it to this stand up. So we're going to put the cellophane in first. And then because we have the socks, because you all bought these, right? Pretty nice, pretty soft, okay? So we're going to put the socks in first. So this is going to give us, it's going to fill it in, okay? So we're not going to have to fill in with other stuff in there. And we might not need the box. Let's try it with the box. Yeah, we'll need the box. So we're gonna put in here foot and leg energizer. We're gonna put socks and we're gonna put extra money night cream. So it's gonna be kind of a whole little pampering set in here. So we're gonna put both boxes in to give it more body, okay? We're gonna tuck the cellophane in a little bit. So get it going in the right places. We're opening up the socks a little bit, see how we like them. We're gonna place, so we took the product out of the boxes, we put the boxes in. All right, so here's where we're at so far. So it did turn out to be about the right size basket, right? But kind of puny, okay? All right, so now we're gonna add a little bit of shred because it's not very sparkly yet, right? We take the shred, we're gonna pull it apart. Now watch, this is the iridescent shred. So this is a good product to use, but you always pull it apart. You wanna have good quality iridescent shred. And you just tuck it in between the products, in behind them. It's very important how you place it. You don't just take a wad of it and then stick it in the front. So you're placing it in between. So this is what it looks like with the shred. Looks better, right? Looks better? Okay? We can make it cuter. We're going to add a pick. We're picking up with all the colors that were on those socks now. All right? And then we're going to add a ribbon to this. And we're going to match the ribbon to the pick. Maybe. And it's that same kind of satin ribbons that really work well. And we're just going to use one color, which is really unusual. But we're going to make the same kind of loops, 3 on each side. We're going to make them big enough so they're going to show up behind the pick. So we're making them big enough. We're going to tie them with what? White. Oh, you guys are good. Take the wire. And then we're going to place it right underneath here. Look what a difference it makes with just this. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Then we're going to add this to the front. And sometimes you have to cut this off. It's too long. And then we're going to tuck it down in the front to this. Sometimes off to the side. And then look at that. Is that cute or what? Picks up the colors. So very important to coordinate the pick color with what you have in the basket. How hard was that? Okay, now how do we price this? What would you sell this for? Let's figure it out. Okay, so how much is a foot leg? How much is the foot leg energizer and the socks?
11. Just 11 because the
I
socks
know.
are free.
It's the deal, right? Okay. How much is the extra mine night cream? 15. So we got 15 and 11 is 26. And then what do we do? 26 plus. I always add $5 for the basket. I try to make sure all my basket prices are about the same and that they're $5 less. So we add 26 plus 5 makes it 31. So we could sell for 31. We could add another dollar on for the socks, or we could just do 31. That's not generous for you. Yes.
You don't add on an extra 5 just for tax and shipping.
Well, I'm not shipping it.
Well, I mean, just.
I'm definitely not shipping the basket.
Well, I mean, not necessarily for shipping as much as for tax. It means something if something flat. So 35. Does that make sense? Because whoever you're selling it to, it'll be okay. Well, a gentleman. Okay, this is 35, and it just covers everything.
Well, wait a minute. Let's reprice that. So we have 15, 11 is 26, plus $5 for the basket is 31.
Yes.
So I would sell for 31 plus tax.
But you, okay, but you would say plus tax.
Yes, that's how I would sell it.
That's how you would sell.
That's how I would sell it. But you may sell it any way you want.
That's okay. Do you find that sometimes, like someone who's in a hurry or trying to sell on the go, I mean, it makes it a little easier if you can just round up and just, if that makes sense, oh, 35.
You can do it any way you want. I just automatically do the $5 straight and then whatever the cost was and then the tax. Yeah, but seriously, you can do it any way you want. Just have a pattern. You know, have a pattern of what you want to do. Then have gift bags, gift bags that this would fit in, and then, or be willing to cellophane it at that point. So you have some way of doing it to the person. Okay. Let's do this one. Okay, let's do this one. This is good. Send hands and body. The other thing you want to do, okay, so this looks good. How much did we say?
31.
31. Okay, 31. All right, so it's big. It looks worth $31, am I right?
Yes.
You're willing to spend that. If I put in here a mascara and an eye makeup remover, you might not be willing to spend that. Wouldn't that be about the right price? Yeah, okay. So you want to think big products, meaning big items, okay? So when we're doing gift sets, now that doesn't mean you're not going to sell an eye makeup remover and a mascara, but you want bigger items because that's going to look bigger when you're showing gift sets. So, and you'll see that we have bigger items on here because that's what's going to sell well. Okay, cellophane. So we're going to take a basket again. So when I'm buying my baskets, I'm purposely working that they are $5 or less. So when you're buying them, keep that in mind. The other thing I'm picky about is that they are new baskets. I know sometimes people like to buy them at, thrift shops or things like that. I don't really like to do that. I mean, you might be able to get something good, but be careful with that because you are reselling it, I don't want something going out that's not super duper. So now look how far me and my cellophane are going. We can get pretty far. We can also get really far on one bag of cellophane, All right, so we're taking our piece of cellophane. We are putting it, now this is so hard. Watch this. There it is. This is not hard work. You just stick it in the bottom. Now this one though, we're going to need to fluff it up, get the product up. So we are going to put an extra piece in the bottom. And the other thing that helps with bigger product to set up well is a sponge. Okay, so we're going to put this in the bottom. And most often I use the white sponges from the company, the ones that are $1 on section 2. But I did find this green sponge and I did like it. So I'm going to use it with satin body ones because it works pretty good color-wise. And it's about the right size. Some of them are too big, too small, not as nice. Again, I'm kind of picky on that. So I'm going to put it in next, and then make sure you label your product. I did not do that this time, but normally I do. So we're going to use all 3 pieces. We're putting those in next. And then we're going to add some of the shred. And when we take the shred, remember, we're going to pull it apart so that it fits in here just right. We are going to be careful not to cover the sponge with it. And we are going to make a bow this time. And we're going to use some gold ribbon because we have the gold basket, so we're going to do that. So we have some gold ribbon. And we want some white ribbon. And when you buy this ribbon, if you're not buying 10 million different patterns, like I don't buy very many patterns if you notice. I stick with some of the same basic things. I use a lot of the white, pink, a couple shades of pink. So I'm going to add white to this. Then you don't have to worry about buying all these different things that cost a lot of money. So I'm adding my same 3 loops. And then when I put it behind a pick, I don't necessarily have to add more, so I'm putting this behind a gold pick. But I want to make sure the loops show behind that pick, so I'm going to make them bigger. And then I'm going to add it behind a gold sparkly pick. Now the other thing is, I never cellophane or shrink wrap these ahead of time. I'm going to be taking them places like this. And the reason is, somebody might say to me, well, I really like this, but I don't want to spend, let's say it adds up to $60. I don't want to spend $60, but I could spend $50. So I could say, well, I can do it for that price if we take out one piece. Okay, so here's what it looks like. All right, so here's where we're at. And they say, well, I could spend $50. Then I could take out one piece of this. They could have a lotion and shower gel instead of all 3. So then you can simply rearrange this and pull out one piece. So if you don't have these things all shrink wrapped and all finished, then you have the ability to change what you have in that container. Then when you get it finished, you can also give it a haircut. Okay, so if there's pieces here that don't belong, then you just do this. So that it looks perfect. You don't like it, you just get rid of it. Okay, anybody have pomegranate satin hands? Aren't we lucky? I had to do this one because it's so cute. So if you're lucky enough to have pomegranate satin hands, you can do this one. You can also just do it with regular satin hands. You could do it with fragrance-free satin hands and then add the color. But this is a cute container. You can get these still, I think, at Hobby Lobby easily. So you can see the container. They come in different colors, okay? So in here, I'm thinking, I don't think I usually add, no, I'm gonna add something. I'm gonna add something. Now this one, I'm going to add the sulfane, but I'm going to cut it in half this way. Because a whole piece will be too much. So we're going to put in like a quarter sheet. Okay, so we'll put that in the bottom. And we're going to add a little tiny bit of shred in the bottom. And then we're going to add the pieces in the center. Now, if you have, did we talk about discontinued product in here yet? No. If you have discontinued spa products, anybody have those? Previous products? Nobody? Yes, somebody? Okay. If you have discontinued spa products, like Paint the Sky is pink, or what were the other ones? Something rainbow?
Paint the Sky, rainbow.
Whatever they were, whatever they are.
Yeah, right.
Now is the time to sell those. Okay, when you have discontinued products, you have to think about the timing. Now is the time to sell those. There's different times for different things. They would fit in here, I would speculate, and they would be cute, and you could sell them like this. Okay, so if you want to sell them, now is the time to sell them. If you have any satin hands, I don't know if we have any previous satin hands, then now would be the time to sell them. Okay, so this you be smart and you think about what you can sell now. All right, so this is the satin hand so far. You lay it in here and you put here a little bit of shred, okay? But we want to make it cuter, right? All right, so we're going to make it cuter. We give it a little bit of a haircut up here. So we're going to make a cute bow. We're going to use our raspberry colors netting. And the netting I mostly get from Hobby Lobby. They have great colors. They have lots with iridescent in it. And they're pretty good, they're very good prices on that. And again, I'm going to make about 2 loops on each side for this. And then I'm going to use pink satin with this one. But see, you could do the fragrance-free San Hansen here, and then do this same bow with it, and give it a lot of color. And then we're going to add red, shiny curling ribbon. Now, shiny curling ribbon is really cute for the holidays, but make sure that it is firm curling ribbon. You can get shiny curling ribbon that's real wimpy. You do not want that. You do not want wimpy curling ribbon. And everybody know what I'm talking about? Really important to get good quality stuff. I'm also going to take a piece of wire to tie this. And the trick with wire is that you don't let any air in between here, okay? So it's real tight. And it looks goofy when you tie it, but then you can pull it all out and make it really cute.